Alright, thought I would get this quick video in. It's Thursday, and a few days ago we had a mass shooting. Not here, but in Boulder. And, there were quite a few news anchors, news reporters, people posting tweets saying, "Bet you $100 it's a white supremacist. Joke's on you, where's my money?" So with all the stupidity that has been happening across the country for the last year, we seem to have forgotten who the real threat to this country is. And sure enough, it was a Syrian-born Islamic extremist with a previous record. And the part that really pisses me off is he was on an FBI watch list and passed the universal background check when he bought a firearm. Why is that my fault? Do you remember the days in school when some idiot in your class would do something really stupid? And next thing you know, the teacher, she makes herself the supreme chancellor of the classroom and says that nobody is leaving, nobody's talking, we're not doing a darn thing until the person responsible admits to it, or at least somebody comes forward and says they know who it is. That's pretty much what the federal government's proposing to do right now. We're gonna ban the AR-15s. They don't even know what these firearms are. Seriously, they have no idea. The guy had a Ruger 5.56. It wasn't even an AR. They don't even understand what AR stands for. And I'm not going to explain it here because I don't want this to be a little cheat sheet for the idiots in charge. So we have this system in place where if I go to buy a new gun, I hand over my driver's license. At least that's what they do in Michigan. I know in some places you have to fill out a form. But I hand over my driver's license. They go into the back room. They run the number, see if it's in the FBI database for, do not sell to this person. And then they come out, hand my license back, and say, "What would you like?" And it really should be as simple as that. But when the people on the other end of the background check are not doing their damn job, as we know that they were not doing in this situation, why is it the problem of law-abiding citizens who are doing everything that they're supposed to? Why does it fall on them? Why is nobody looking at the FBI and saying, "Hey, you had an eye on this guy. You were looking at his friends as being domestic terrorists. You knew that, something bad could happen." And, yeah, it's kind of like a mini 9/11 where, certain people who went to different flight schools were on FBI watch lists. And somehow 19 out of 20 were allowed on planes, even though somebody got a memo stating that Osama bin Laden was planning on attacking the United States, possibly flying airliners into buildings. It wasn't specific or anything, It's not like they had a heads up as to what was going to happen. And it's not like the FBI in this situation had any inkling that this guy was going to do something like this. I really hope that you heard the sarcasm in that. So yeah, basically the idiots in charge, like previous events like Columbine, where again, local police and officials were notified that these guys were planning something stupid, and they just kind of shrugged their shoulders and said, "Meh." Yeah. So the authorities did not do their job with the tools that they have in place. And Of course, the immediate reaction is, we have to do something. We, how about you do your job? That's really all that anybody is asking. And considering you can't do your job with what you have available to you, why would we give you more power and authority? Because you're not going to do a good job with that either. So how about these knuckleheads, these morons who apparently cannot navigate a flight of stairs, how about they just go ahead and figure out how to be competent with these simple tasks that they already have, like, I don't know, checking a box in an FBI database and saying, this guy is not allowed to buy a firearm. That's really all that they had to do. And granted, that doesn't really solve anything either, because, he could have just stolen a Mack truck and plowed it into the supermarket and killed God knows how many people, like what happens in France repeatedly, or the UK for that matter, where guns are completely outlawed, and these people still roam around on bridges with knives, sticking people and killing God knows how many people before the cops show up. So if you didn't want the guy to have a gun, there was a very simple task that these morons could have done to prevent that, but no. And I know from previous experience that it is not hard for them to do this, because when I went to get a CPL, a concealed pistol license in my state, I had to go before a board because they found something sketchy in my past that they needed to ask me about, and they had the authority right then and there, if I didn't answer their questions in a satisfactory manner, where they could just say, you're denied. We don't care if you spent $300 in trying to get this. That money's gone, and you don't get a concealed pistol license. Which, in all honesty, in this state, and with the job that I had at the time, and the places that I regularly went to, I couldn't freaking legally carry anyways, even with a concealed pistol license. Can't go into a supermarket. Even if you work in a bar, can't carry into a bar. Oh, worked in a hospital, can't carry in a hospital. Oh, shipping a package to the post office, can't carry in the post office. Yeah, there's really no reason to get a concealed pistol license except to carry in your car. And even then, what moron is going to leave their vehicle with their pistol inside so that some jackass can break the window, find it, and either steal the car or just steal the pistol, which is actually fairly common. John Douglas, the famous FBI profiler, he had his first service pistol stolen out of his Volkswagen Beetle when he first started working for the agency. It is not uncommon for that stuff to happen. Therefore, yeah, I just didn't bother carrying, even though I had the license. Because last thing I want is another gun out there to be used by some idiot. So yeah, why is it that I have more common sense than the federal government? Unbelievable. So yeah, of course they won't say that the guy was a Islamic extremist, because that goes against their whole white supremacy argument. Yeah, that's it. That's my rant. I had a friend not that long ago tell me, just before the election, Biden's not coming after your guns. I swear to you, I promise, Biden is not coming after your guns. It's not Biden I'm really worried about. It's freaking Kamala Harris. And Biden's talking about just signing an executive order, which, if I recall from the presidential debate where he was arguing with Kamala Harris, he's the one that said, well, we can't do that through executive order because we have a constitution. I Guess that doesn't exist anymore. Fun times. Good thing I lost everything in that boating, hunting, fishing accident. That kind of sucks. Keep on typing.